Hello, so I have very almost finished the notebook I am currently using. I've got that many pages left, which is not a lot. So it's time to start a new one, and as I've mentioned on this channel, I'm gonna say recently, but you probably won't watch this video anytime soon, I've been really getting into bullet journal videos, and I am not going to be doing a bullet journal, but I'm gonna steal some ideas for my first few pages of this new journal. Because as of when I am filming this, it's still January, so we've still got most of 2022, and I'd like to use it to get a bit more out of it, rather than having notes all over every page. So for example, my favorites are usually just on a random page that I make available, and then if I have a new one I have to like flick through and find it, so I'm going to put those towards the start. I've made a list of like the topics I want to cover, and I suppose we'll get into it. I put on a new musical to listen to, so it's called Baby, and I read just a brief like summary of it, and it sounds really good, and it's by Maltby and Shire, who I really like, so we'll have a listen and see what it's like. So I really wanted to buy a new notebook, but I thought no, I have plenty. And I do. I've got two like this, which I got for my birthday, I think in 2019. I've got this one, which I got for Christmas this year. And I love that it has a pen holder. I really, really enjoy that. I've got this one, which has that thing, whatever that's called. And it's actually got more lines, I've only just realized. And I've got this one, which is quite similar to the one I currently have. I'll be honest, I like A5, so I think it's gonna be between these two. This one seems to have more pages. It's got more lines. It's got this thing, which I like. It's got a little bookmarky thing, which I've only just noticed, but I also really like. So part of me is saying this is gonna be the one, but then this one, because it's more like every other notebook I've ever used for this kind of stuff, and it's just standard, I do kind of prefer this. And I didn't think I was gonna at all feel anything towards this one, just because I don't necessarily love that it's got Marvel on the front. I love Marvel, but I'd be more inclined if it was like Harry Potter or something. Like this is nice. I like that this is the spine, but this back thing always comes off on these ones. And this page is actually like less wide than this. I didn't think this was gonna be this hard. I thought I was automatically gonna go for this one. Maybe I should just challenge myself to a change. And the thing is, this notebook I can use for anything ever. This one feels like it's more important, I suppose. I think, shockingly, I'm gonna go for this one. That's shocking to me, maybe not to you. Oh, I don't know. I really did not expect this to be as tough of a decision as it is. I'm gonna go for the Marvel one. I'm gonna take the risk. It's not really a risk, but it feels like a risk to me. Right, now we can get into it. So before I begin, let me read you out what spreads I'm going to be making. I'm going to be making a year at a glance, habit trackers, year in pixels, favorites to consume, so to read, watch, etc., wish list, YouTube details in terms of like how I do the borders and stuff, YouTube video ideas, and meal ideas. And maybe a reading challenge. Let's get started, I suppose. So to begin with, I am breaking the spine. I was shown how to break the spine by some YouTuber, and I've never seen that before, but I quite liked it. Then I am moving on to making the year at a glance. So I'm doing 12 mini calendars. I messed this up a few times, but I made it work in the end, I hope. Also, I ended up sticking with this highlighter theme every time I do months in any spread. I double checked the dates a lot because a lot of YouTubers said that they always messed up the dates, and I didn't want to be one of those people because I didn't have whiteout, and I didn't. Next, I am making the habit tracker. Originally, I was going to do 11 pages because I realized that's how many I would need to cover the whole year, but I figured that was a bit insane, so I'm just starting with 2. And I'm only tracking a couple of things, but I've got space to add more if I'd like to. The next spread I'm doing is year in pixels. This is where you apply a color to an emotion and you highlight what color your day was. It took me a while to figure out how to divide, I think it was 11 by 13.5 or something like that, but I made it work. And I'm actually really happy with how this already has turned out, especially with all the highlighters and with the crossing of the black boxes at the bottom. For this next spread, I wanted to go in a similar setup as my year at a glance because it was for my monthly favourites. So I went back to check to the decimal point what the distance was between each box. I love the use of the highlighters. I didn't expect to love it as much as I do, but I just love the way it kind of unites everything. This next spread is things to consume, so I split the page I think into 6. It was meant to be 5, but it just worked better to split it into 6. So my last topic is just other, which actually makes a lot of sense. This next page has half a wish list and then the other half is video ideas. I didn't want to put these two together because it seems a bit odd, but they were both only worthy of half a page. I don't need more for either of them, so I just decided to combine them, and actually I'm really happy with the way it looks. And then on the next page I did all my video details. This took me ages to make sure it was all perfect and neat, but I'm really happy to have it and I think it's going to prove very useful. I was going to end it there, but basically I've recently had a jar of words that I bring everywhere I go, and I just give everyone a word. Well, they get to pick a word, and that word is what they carry through for the rest of the day. And I decided to go through all the words and write them all out onto this page, just so I had them on a page for me available whenever I need. And I hadn't planned anything with the colours, I kind of just wanted it to be a bit mix match, but I don't really love how it turned out. And it's only half a page as well, which is a bit odd, but we'll see what we do with it. I'm sure something will come of it in the rest of the year. Then I went back to add in some dates into my habit tracker because I hadn't wanted to do it when I first did it because I didn't know when I'd be starting it. But now that the bullet journal is basically complete, I decided today will be day 1. But I only did the top half because I didn't know when I'd use the second half, if it was going to be immediately after or if it was going to be a lot later on, so I just wanted to allow the flexibility there. And now I'm just going to show you a little flick through of the entire thing. So the very first page is blank because it just was too close to the spine and I can do something with it if I'd like, but I'm not concerned. This next page is the year at a glance. Then we've got the habit trackers. Then we've got the year in pixels, which I started to fill out from what I could remember in January. It's not perfect, but it's something, and already I love what it looks like. Then we've got my monthly favourites, some of which I also already started putting in. Then the to consume page. As you'll notice, I haven't really put any headings, but hopefully that's okay. Then we've got the wish list, the YouTube ideas, and the YouTube details. And again, I just love the way this looks. And then we've got my words from the jar. And that's it. I'm really, really happy with it. And that's all for now. Bye!